Hey, I have missed you guys. I hope you're having an amazing day. For some of you, you're just waking up. Others of you guys are, like me, rounding out your day. I'm still in workout clothes and I haven't made it yet to my workout. So I hope that happens. I think it's going to happen here soon. When the baby wakes up, I'll throw her in the stroller and get my workout on. So sorry, hot mess coming through, hot mess express. But I just wanted to connect with you guys. And I wanted to touch on something that is so important and so amazing to me and to my organization and to just my business mentality in general. So let's talk a little bit about cash bonuses. And I think this is something that makes everybody feel a little bit uncomfortable because it's really amazing to get a cash bonus and it's really hard to give one. Am I right? So one of the things that I've done through my journey in direct sales is I have passed down cash bonuses. And to me, I think they're amazing, and I think they're an incredible incentive and a wonderful way to love on our people. And we have always come from a place of giving and generosity in this business, and at the end of the day, in direct sales, if my leaders and my team and my organization don't perform, then really I don't want to say that I don't perform, but then that leaves my success in question, okay? So when I added up the cash bonuses that we were blessed to give over this last year, it was around $4,000. And although I've done so many other things like retreats and wonderful gifts, just strictly our cash bonuses have been around $330 a month. So that is awesome. And I love that we do this for our leaders. So what do we do and why do we do this? In my industry, I want you guys to know that my leaders are what I consider my lifeblood. They are what hold me at the highest rank in Janberry, and it has just been a huge blessing in our life. I have not lost that rank, and I have been paid at that rank every month for almost 3 years straight. So that's incredible, and I have done nothing to do that. Like, I just lead this incredible team. What I really have to thank are my entire organization and my leaders. Okay, so I could just sit there and be like, thanks you guys, thanks, you guys are so great, thank you. Every month I could just say thank you, right? Which I do that because maybe somebody's love language is, words of affirmation. But y'all, cash is king. Like, come on, you can sit there and tell somebody how great they are, but at the end of the day, it is incredible what we've been able to do and the momentum that we've been able to get and the leaders that we've been able to retain. And I say we because this is something my husband and I sat down and talked about. Like, this is something that breaks into our budget. This is something that makes like our mortgage payoff process obviously take longer. I mean, this is the bare bone minimum. Like, just the cash bonuses that we give every month added up to $4,000. Like, if you added up the gifts and everything else that we've done for our organization over the last year, it would be ridiculous. But I just wanted to focus on our cash bonuses and why we do this. So what we do is on my leadership page, when anyone holds leadership rank, they get to shout it out. So in my organization, that would be team manager, senior team manager, exec, senior exec, lead exec, premier exec, elite exec. So they get to shout out as they hold that rank through the month. And it's wonderful because we have this incredible shout out feed where so many women get to just cheer each other on as they hit their ranks and make their numbers. And it's just, things get so alive at the end of the month, and it's just like, woohoo! And everybody's just shouting and exciting and just pumped, right? And so that right there breeds amazing community and momentum and support. So our shout out feed has been huge. So we do that every month. Because at the end of the day, like when my leaders do their job, like that equals success all around. That equals their success and their paychecks for their family. That equals success in my paycheck for my family. So it's all one big team. But what I realized is, you know, sometimes it's wonderful when leaders can count on something. And my leaders have been able to count every month. I always pass back bonuses. And what I want you guys to hear is that support and that community and that cheer feed of people holding their ranks and promoting to a new rank, that collective unity is something that you can't put a price on. And that has been really fun and really incredible. And then at the end, I always post a live video sharing some stats, you know, thanking my leaders, saying thank you so much to everybody who held. And I draw one cash bonus name depending on which group I'm pulling from. Because I pull cash bonuses actually in multiple groups. So the wonderful thing is that it is so awesome, the stories I've heard, how these cash bonuses have helped my leaders. Maybe they were having, you know, a harder month financially. Maybe there was something that they had their eyes on for their family. I mean, these stories that I've heard about these, what you think are lucky lottery cash bonuses, like I think they're like a divine goodness in somebody's life. So that's been just really so touching and so instrumental, and in a way is my why. It's such a big part of my why, you know, just always making sure that our generosity is touching multiple leaders in our organization, you know, because at the end of the day, of course, I could just focus on my level 1, but it is so amazing to me when a level 6 brand new promoted team manager is the one that earns like the $180 cash bonus that month. And so it's just been really incredible. So what I want you guys to know, and I have a question that says, I'm soaking up your wisdom. It's from Melody Morrow. And she said, is this your primary incentive you do for your team? So this is not for my team. So my team is something different, and I do different incentives like Club Active and, what else do we do? Stomp the Zero. I do on my junior leader page, I do beat the leader. So every time they're beating me with their stats, they get to enter into a giveaway for that. But on my leader page, which is my TM and aboves, and on my own level 1 leader page, which is my level 1 group, those are the places I give cash bonuses. And those are primarily the incentives that I do for my leaders. And only leaders are privy to this, and only leaders that hold the rank and get a paid as rank of team manager and above. So and Molly reminded me, we also do goal diggers, and all of my organization knows that once you hit TM, you're privy to those cash bonuses. It is a random drawing. It's so much fun. I do it live. Nobody, like, we just are all online and we're like, oh my gosh, who's going to get the cash bonus this month? So that's really incredible. But the other thing I do in addition to pulling a cash bonus is I lottery off my time. So that has been incredible. And what I do is I draw 3 other winners, and I tell them that they have earned some Morgan time. So what does that look like in my organization? That looks like maybe me hopping on their team page and going live and determining just what they want to focus on. The other option is a Zoom call with their leaders. The other option is a one-on-one. So basically I say to them, here's 30 minutes slotted out for you and however you want to use it. If you want me to speak to your leaders and just feed into them and love on them, let's do it with just your leaders. If you want me to go on your team page and do a Q&A free pass for 48 hours, I'll plop an image on their team page that says, pick my brain for 48 hours, ready, set, go. And that's been incredible too. So I love being able to also incentivize through my time for my leaders. And so that way every month I have 2 cash bonus winners and 3 Morgan time winners. So we say Mama Mo. So I just wanted to share with you guys like how huge cash bonuses were. And I see I have a couple other questions. So my cash bonuses are 1% of my bonus. So if I make $20,000, it's a $200 cash bonus, and I do 2 of them. So I always love on my level 1 team managers that hold rank, but they only get their cash bonus when I get paid as a lead because I need them to hold me at a lead. And they all know that. And then I give another bonus to my larger jamagers, which are my TMs and above at all levels. It could be my level 10 or my level 1. So 2 cash bonuses, and it's always 1% of my larger bonus, which is a wonderful added bonus that they get. And that has run the spectrum anywhere from like 150 or 400. So it's such a blessing, and it's such a blessing for us to be able to give back. And I just have seen it do incredible things. And at the end of the day, when my leaders successfully hold rank and promote and do their job in their own position, then it only just brings on so much more goodness for their team and our organization as a whole. So I have personally found that being generous with my bonuses has been amazing, and it has been an element, I would like to really say, of my success. A lot of people have said, how do you have so many leaders? Like, your team is big, but it's not that huge, and you just seem to have so many amazing leaders. And I'm like, yeah, I do, because I take care of them. And I think that sometimes in this business, as women, we can just be like, she's fine. And I don't really think anybody's fine. Like, I want to make sure that all my leaders know that my appreciation and my gratitude for everything that they juggle for our organization never goes unnoticed. So it's really fun. We do have a lot of leaders that have won multiple times, and so we call them our lucky ducks, and we're like, you're so lucky. We've had newly promoted leaders just come right in and win, which has been really cool. So I just think it's really awesome and builds cohesion and excitement, and they don't like rely on it, but they expect it, and they know when they do their job, there's a chance that they can earn that cash bonus. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys is about like emotions as an entrepreneur, and how that can be just such a vicious cycle. And it can be a dark world, it can be a hard world, it can be whatever world it is in your brain. And what I want you guys to know is that we all have those days, right? And we are all in control of our own destiny, and we are in control of our own thoughts. And I'm just a really big believer in mantras and just mental like thought patterns, and how they can play a huge part in your success as a business person. And I just don't have a lot of I don't even know how to say it. I just don't have a lot of bandwidth for like complaining and not showing up for the job and deflecting and just blaming, because at the end of the day, I think about how hard I worked to get to where I am, and that I knew that I was in charge of my own destiny and own success, and I made zero like excuses. Like, I made no excuses. There's no excuses. I am in charge of my own destiny. I am the captain of my own ship. I am the leader of my own success. And even just saying those words out loud and just reminding yourself that like you empower all of the goodness of your own emotions to totally rock this business or derail it, right? And so I just wanted to remind you guys that all of the mantras I share, don't just like put them aside. If they speak to you, take time and put them in your phone. Like, you can even set them up as an alert, like something that you're going to do every day. Maybe it's 3 sentences, like, I am compassionate, I am loving, I am strong. Maybe those are your 3 I ams. Like, that's what really hits home for you. Set an alert in your phone for those 3 sentences to be like the job, the thing that you have to do. You know how you can set things in your calendar? So set it as a calendar option for every single day at 5 a.m. So when you finally sit down to start work and you open up your phone, you see those strong, powerful words sitting there, right? And I just think that if you're struggling with emotions in this business, or emotions in starting a business, or emotions in your job or your career, like, really try to fundamentally figure out, are these emotions that are worthwhile of feeling? And why do I always keep coming back to like blame and making excuses? And just figure out like if you are actually the one derailing your own success. Because I just think everybody has to take ownership in what they want their life to look like. And at the end of the day, we're all in charge of that, right? And if you're in a relationship and there's not a lot of support for what you're doing in this business, then maybe you need to look at that a lot closer. Why is that happening? Why is your partner not, supporting you? And I am the first to admit, like, there is no perfect marriage there's no perfect relationship, but people always say to me, how much money did you have to make for Walt to start being supportive? And I'm like, whoa, no. I mean, I remember saying to him, my bonus was $7, babe. Like, I made $7 this month. I made $7 on top of my commission. Like, I made $7 because I built like a team of 2 people. I have 2 people on my team, and I made $7 because they sold some stuff too. And we were both like, what? That's so incredible. And the next month it was like $243. And I remember being like, I cannot believe I just paid for a date night. Like, that was my goal 6 weeks ago. It was my goal, and I did it. And so let me remind you that, like, I really, really think, like, when I met my husband, he was the most supportive person in so many ways. And that is why I was drawn to him. And so that just hasn't been part of our journey. Like, in this industry, in business, in our marriage, he is the most supportive person. And even when I was making pennies on the dollar and probably making $1 an hour compared to how many hours I was working at the beginning, he was like, you got this, babe. You got this, babe. It's 6 months. Like, we'll circle back and talk about it. Like you said, like, just keep doing your thing, and we'll just see how it looks at 6 months. Because that was the conversation we had. So if you're going through, like, the emotions of being, like, just a tired business person, then maybe you need to look at what you're doing in your business and find the fun and find the fear and feel it anyway, and just figure out how you can connect with people in your business outside of, like, going through the daily grind. I mean, even when you shut down your devices and step outside into the real world and sit in a coffee shop and meet a girlfriend for 45 minutes, I feel like your wheels start turning and you make connections that you wouldn't have if you were just sitting at your desk, like, scrolling Facebook. So I just hope that this speaks to some of you guys. I want to remind you that if your emotions get the best of you in business, then maybe you need to figure out how to channel those emotions. Maybe you need to work out. Maybe you need to sweat. Maybe you need to go to a sauna. Maybe you need to meditate. Maybe you need to do yoga. Maybe, like I said, you need to practice mantras and work that into, like, your general, like, psyche and performance criteria, So I see there's a couple more questions. Do my leaders do the same thing? I have no idea. You know what? I don't think it's my business what my leaders do with their teams. If they give cash bonuses, great. If they don't, great. Like, it is not my business how they run their own organizations. I can only be generous with my team, and that's all that I have control over. And is this mentality applicable to the lower ranks? And absolutely. So let me explain that. So when I joined Jamberry, you get bonuses as you move through the ranks, okay? And let me remind you that you usually only move and promote as you build a larger team. So let's say a bonus is $200, but you only make that bonus if you have these 2 core people along on the journey with you doing their job. So what I would always do is, if I stood to make that $200 bonus, I would say, okay, I'm going to keep 100, and then I'm going to split the other 100 in half and give 50 and 50. And that's what I did the entire way, because what I realized is I'm not going to get any bonus unless they do their job. Like, there's no bonus for Mama Mo unless these people do their job. So I said, you know what, guys, the first 2 to do their job, guess what? 50 and 50. And the next promotion, I was like, the first 2 to do their job, guess what? 100 and 100. Like, because at the end of the day, I realized I'm not going to get bigger, better, and bolder. Like, my business isn't going to grow. My team isn't going to grow. My organization isn't going to grow unless I have people with me doing the same thing and duplicating my passion, my expertise, my experience, my drive. And so at the end of the day, like, if I want to make more money and I want to be bigger and I want to touch more lives, then I need people to join me on that mission. And if people are going to join me on that mission, like, I'm going to celebrate them. And you know how I'm going to celebrate them? Cash is king. So I tend to not give, like, huge gifts. Like, I think Christmas is, like, the only time. I think I did shopping sprees last year for Nordstrom. And then I think I did I can't remember the name of the company I used in Australia for my 2 big Australian leaders. And this year I did the most beautiful Kendra Scott necklaces. So my top 10 personal leaders all got a Kendra Scott necklace. That was anybody direct to me who had hit TM once or more last year, because you know what, you guys, at the end of the day, sometimes it's that one leg hitting it once that keeps you out of rank. So I do not downplay. If you are direct to me and you hit TM once in a year, you get a Christmas present from me. But I'm also a big believer, you guys, in like the gifts I give outside of these cash bonuses, they're usually around $50. Like nobody's gotten anything huge and flashy from me, because I just don't want, that is not duplicable. If I give somebody like a massive present, then how are they going to expect at their paycheck amounts to turn around and do the same for somebody else? So I never tell my team to like, I never say, hey, we're all going to buy these shirts. When we all went to Punta Cana last year, I bought everybody their shirt. That was like their big prize when they got to the Dominican Republic. Actually, I think I mailed some of them. So I bought them a t-shirt and gave them a few little things, but I just am a big believer in duplication. And cash bonuses is one that they can duplicate. If they make $1,000 bonus, they can give 1% of that. What is that, like $10? I don't even know. Like at the end of the day, that is a duplicable thing, being generous and giving a percentage of your larger bonus, right? So to me, it's always been about like making sure that in a way, cash bonuses and camaraderie and working together in that cheer feed when people start hitting their ranks, like all of that emotionally keeps people tied together too. Can I get an amen? Because it's so much fun. And so I just think like in a way, you guys, how you take care of your people and how you love them is so important. And if you're sitting there wondering, I'm a leader, but I'm not a big leader, and why isn't my team doing what I need my team to do? I just want you to take an honest look at the ways that you would love for your sponsor upline leaders to take care of you. Shut those thoughts off, turn around and do that to your team. Like if you're a leader of a team, like think about all the brain capacity that you use thinking like, she didn't shout me out and she didn't do this and why didn't I get this present and I would have liked this and I want a cash bonus. Like that's so cool that Morgan does that for her team. I wish my leader did that for me, blah, blah. Shut up. Shut up. Oh my God, shut up. Like that's what I want to say. Shut up. Like don't do that. Don't do that. Because like when you do that, it is so toxic to your brain and your momentum and your business mentality and your entrepreneurial spirit. Shut that voice off, turn around and be that leader to other people. And I'm telling you, when you do that, magic happens. So I'm getting a little bit fired up in here. I don't know. I just love being a leader. And I think being a leader of women is so complex and can be so confusing at times, but it can absolutely be one of life's like biggest blessings and such a reward. Like the amount of momentum that women can have as a cohesive like network, it is really inspiring. So I just am always telling my leaders to tell their teams. I'm always telling my team like get the TM like so you can get up there and get those cash bonuses. So yeah, it's just incredible, and it's momentum, and it's fun, and it's generous, and it's duplicable, and I just hope this inspires some of you guys to shut those bad emotions down, like work through them, rock through them, find you in this, and make it fun. So, okay, you guys, I hope that was some good information. Have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go get my walk on, because it's seriously what keeps me sane. Like, 30 minutes of walking a day is pretty much all I do right now, on top of eating as healthy as I can. And it is so helpful in my life. Like Walt even looked at me and said, you haven't walked yet today, have you? And I was like, no. And he's like, babe. And I was like, I'm gonna go when the kids are over at mom's playing. I'm gonna go for a walk. So I'm gonna go get that going. Okay, bye guys.